InShalla and Ashe, blessings to you. I crack myself up. I just want to say I am Tonya D, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energy surgeon. I merge the indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, and so much more with the subtle energetic fields, the galaxy, the highway. But if you've yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or if you have, thank you and blessings and gratitude. It really helps to echo it out into the universe, the galactic algorithm. Um, but also stay tuned to the end. I'm going to share some insight into voices of the other world. It's a great asset to uncovering secrets of the other world. But today is actually a day to be patient. So thanks for being patient. I know I'm a little late in my muse for the snippet, but it really is a day to be patient to determine if your own heart center has really received the amount of love in your chalice that is otherworldly deserved for this galactic year. And also, it's this galactic overview today. It's a day to see if you have been receiving that juice that you might or might not have been missing. So if you have yet to add love to your daily chalice, which I haven't been talking about the chalice that much, but we all have a chalice in our heart space, and today would be that amazing day to start really doing just that, being in the streams of kindness and compassion to ourselves, and just be unconditionally loving to you. Source, the divine, will actually do the rest of that for us. But today, on the elemental highway, we have, let me get this here, there we go, making that super saucy and juicy, but we have a young wood dragon. So this is a nature dragon instead of a water dragon or a fire dragon. And nature is the transforming energy that can shift and change. And so our dragon is kind of this authentic dragon, his authenticity, even a wise dragon because it's yang energy. So our day has this hidden wood element in the base of the dragon, lots of water hidden and also a little bit of water in storage. But not any of the other elements of nature are there. So nature would really be an element to ground into today. And of course, there's also zero fire at the moment. But fire will come in the later hours, the social hours of the day. But I would actually do some shifting and some kind of transformation, the unseen kind of transforming. So wood element is the element of growth and ascension. It's kindness. It's the spirit of direction and planning. So earth to wood, our day, is like a grandchild or the area of wealth, whether it's how you create wealth or how you scandal wealth. So the dragon is the physical and the wood element in the heavenly realm of our day pillar. But the dragon also represents the stomach meridian. And the energy of that is receiving food, and then it processes and starts the transformation of it from nutrients into energy into the body. So for the dragon, the principal organ is digestion, or the function, I guess. So people born in the energy or the year of the dragon really kind of have a touch of magic. So today's dragon, being that it is a wood one, has this extra vitality of magic. So wood in the body is also vital energy. It's our chi, it's our life force. So this could be like artists or visionaries, people who really have the ability or the capacity, along with the imagination, to dream big, galactic star big. And they also have a galactic appetite for the power and the fame. And they really want only the best and to live like this high vibe life, or just a high life, whatever that is for them. Just enjoying pleasures of more of the physical, the material realm, and really all the positions that life kind of has to offer. Some of them could even have the breath of fire, but today we have the magic dragon, so it's not so much the breath of fire. So the energy could either be one, because it's earth, of contentment or being deprived. It's a dragon. So kind of feeling attached to something, or being a person, or it could be a person, a place, or a thing that they're attached to, and also having identity issues, like where do I belong, identity. That's in the Dagara. I'm thinking of a divination there. So something, knowing something's value, it's cash value, as opposed to like the esteem or the worthiness. That's similar to the rabbit energy. So addictions actually fall in the realm of the dragon, being larger than life and having an appetite that really reflects that behavior. So, kind of reflect on your essence of your life today, your sense of power, your sense of living, even your sense of control or maybe lack of control. Because we're in the season of Capricorn, this is kind of our foundation of control, our leadership, organizations, even power, maybe a power trip. That's why resolutions for the new year come from this aspect of what we kind of decide for ourselves. So, kind of muse about that. And it really is the energy of the season that kind of brings with it that essence of a New Year's resolution, where we give our time and our space, our essence to kind of decide our goals out into the new year. However, for me, I sense that we should create our resolutions before or close to our arrival of the earth plane, also known as our personal earth day, our birthday. That's kind of what I muse about. But the energy today is really that of self-reflection of how we are going to manage or mismanage ourselves out into the new year, 2022. So maybe today you're on an exploration, a journey about how you really want to step into your next platform of your earth journey, your story. Maybe you're assessing what needs to stay, maybe what needs to be altered or shifted or even just let go of, so you can really start and begin the new year fresh. Maybe you're cleaning out the cobwebs in your closet. I don't know. I'm just musing. Or, maybe you have a self-realization of an aspect within yourself that's actually out of control. So the magic in the sauce is really our galactic heart center, giving altruistic power to our heart, at the authenticity of it. It's the power of love in our chalice, in our container. So myself, I prefer to stay in the optimistic venue. What does that mean? That means switching anything negative to a positive and staying in a positive thread or that cosmic loop. I find it really not necessary or to be a necessity to really go over the things where we might be self-critical to ourselves, dwelling in the past, the could haves, the should haves, the would haves, all of those kinds of things. Because we all know where we could improve our greatest asset, which is ourselves, right? So Capricorn is also known as the cold, dark father. I learned this from Christopher Renstrom, called the cold, dark father, or the dark father. Winter is cold, right? That's the energy of it. The strict one. So really be kind to yourself. Be loving, even in your adulting of yourself. And just notice where in your reflection, if there is more love or more fear behind that authority today to yourself. So where do you believe you could add more love to your safety net, your worth, your self-worth? We really are our greatest asset, truly, authentically. So are your actions motivated by love or by fear? And just kind of take notice as to what really motivates you. And also ask yourself, where could you improve or adjust your own personal authority on really what self-love really is, or how can you take on a new path, or how on how you could love yourself even better? Is that cookie really necessary? We are in the season of sugar, which, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole there, but sugar really is a thing. It carries a frequency and also a vibration, right? So I'm going to further muse about the Archangel Azrael, and I tried to find another picture I liked. I mean, this one's okay. It's not super juicy, but it's the best I could find, and I was already spending way too much time checking things out. But Azrael, he's kind of this death counselor and life and death, which I actually share some insight into life and death and uncovering the secrets of the other world, mostly due to my own near-death experience. But even though a lot of people fear the function of this archangel as the angel of death, he is this gentle soul who's often described as kind of being a counselor of all of the aspects of life, right? So death generally is scary because it's something that we have yet to experience, usually once, right? But it's also possible, it's this impossibility to be kind of prepared for what that is. So being like he's a ferryman, a guide, even a protector. So he takes our hand the moment between life and death and leads us to the great beyond, the starry, starry night, the realms, a few of them, I might say. But he often visits those who are also in transition, which is why his appearance is often associated with death. So in some cases, it can indicate that life is about to come to an end or even an aspect of your life. But most of the time, the presence and his energy is very comforting. It's he kind of assures us that there is no reason to be afraid, and he's kind of preparing us for the journey ahead, the light ahead, really, being that he can appear in a variety of forms. Sometimes he doesn't appear in a form at all. He can come in as a meta symbol through words and numbers and thoughts and signs and symbols or sigils, kind of signals, kind of. That's just kind of how I'm seeing all this. But he's also an archangel who's this counselor to those who have lost a loved one. So it's the opposing side of that same coin. Um, so grief, is a very powerful emotion. It can cloud our judgment. It can hinder our spiritual journey. And losing someone you care about can really lead to sadness and irrational thoughts or actions and even depression. Like grief can be so overwhelming. So just invoking or praying to Azrael, invoking that energy when the weight of a loved one's death is really crushing in like a galactic wave and ocean where it becomes way too much. So it really is part of his purpose to just kind of snap his fingers to make us feel galactic better, just guiding us to a place of understanding. And he has this ability to shift our perspective by demonstrating that death is another chapter of life, of our essence. Nobody gets out of here alive. Well, we just transform different shapes, energy to matter, matter to energy. And just leaving the physical realm isn't like truly the end. So tomorrow I'm going to cascade into the energy of grief, but I was also called to do a grief ritual in July of this year. Actually, it was probably all of this year, if I'm going to be honest out loud. But yeah, grief carries powerful emotions. And it, sometimes it takes the wind right out of our sails. But today, the cards of the day, I went with my elemental deck. I hadn't played with them for a while. I'm going to muse about herbs and oils after Archangel Azrael. But first we have fire. And fire is the action realm. And here's where we learn to really claim our personal power. It's fire. It's our ancestors. It's visions. It's dreams. I'll muse more about that in the Voices of the Other World. But it's also calling us in to allow our light to really shine bright and also to feel our passion about all of life. And of course, I pulled the card passion. So passion really is the fuel, the energy to really take action in our day-to-day life, in our every essence of life, to live in connection with the passion. And it just gives us more energy and vitality. And it also makes the quality of our life fuller and richer and brighter. So kind of tune into your inner realm to discover where you're passionate about or what you're passionate about. And I would journal about things and really kind of sit and muse and ask questions of fire, the element of fire, and connect to maybe a time in your life when you felt more energetic and more alive. So, from this vantage point, from this perspective, maybe of what time in your life could you see your passions? What were they? Usually it's like that childlike wonder, and just asking yourself, are you living fully from your own passion, your inner passion? And just ask fire, the energy of it, the element, to show you more ways where you could connect authentically to your passion, whatever that is, your soul's desire, your essence. And then I have spirit, which is juicy. The spark of spirit, it's our divine connection. It's our connection to the God or the goddess, the oneness, source, great spirit, whatever you want to call it. It's where the creation energy lives, this connection. So this inner connection to spirit is guiding us through our lives to bring our own essence into our fullest expression, our fullest authenticity in the world. And it connects to all of the elementals in the world and otherworldly, kind of holding them in a shape or a form, both in the outer and also those inner realms. It's our magical, really unseen ingredient. So for me, I find the most magical places in nature where we can reflect and feel the substance of the elementals or the otherworldly beings that really reside there. But today we have compassion, which I love. So, as we kind of develop our essence of our spirit and really sustain an awareness that everything is a part of that essence of spirit, Then we realize that nothing is really separate. We're all connected through spirit, regardless of how it appears in the outer world, what that even looks like. So everything is a part of the whole. Just as destruction of the old is part of the creation process of the new, which it comes at a cost sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but we begin to see that each individual's expression, whatever that is, that essence, and their path is really part of the great galactic understanding, or a deeper understanding of the galactic whole, the galactic universe. So from that perspective, then we have this mountaintop view, or even an otherworldly perspective or view, and we can develop the ability to really have compassion for the journey of both ourselves and also for others. So it's like, what is spirit calling us to hold with a greater galactic compassion? Like, what is that on a day like today? I think it's pouring more love in our personal love chalice myself, but go with what feels juicy to you. And then we have air. So air and sound are kind of the vibrational tone of life, and we all have our own signature sound. The thoughts we have, how conscious our language is, or how integrated our left and our right brain is, how we work with intention and meditation or prayer. So they're all a part of the essence of air, in the realm of air, mental. This is where we see life from that higher perspective, air, and we work with our vision, our visionary ability to see. So air is where we learn to really soar. We can fly high when our thoughts and our vibrations are in harmony with our heart's desires, our heart, the core of our heart. So this is also where we hold our belief systems, air, the mental realm, about life. So you kind of have to muse about, is your belief system something you chose consciously, aware of it? Or is it based on this outdated mental model that was either inherited or passed down to you? I'm thinking of the ancestors, right? So it takes really a lot of dedication and focus to really shift our mental models, that paradigm, and choose to set more of a conscious tone, a sound for ourselves. But I have the card of visionary, which also, it governs air. Air is our ability to envision our life. And it's here where we can activate our visionary ability for ourselves, the village, and out into the realms of the world. So I would ask yourself on a day like today, are you actively holding a clear, uplifting vision for your life? Or are you using your visionary capabilities to actively bring in a new level of beingness in for yourself and also those around you? What kind of a container or village do you want to live in? So just kind of musing thoughts. The elementals are a way to work with the beings that are elemental. That's what Voices of the Other World is going to be about. But again, uncover the secrets of the other world. That's a juicy one too. So this would be like an asset to that. But with our heart center online, it's the color of greens. I would use lime green myself. But really anything that elevates your vibration, that would be the color that you want to use today. Anything that ignites your passion. And the moon herself, that goddess, is in the juicy space of Leo. So our heart truly is online. So it's just aspects of our heart that will light up with emotion. That's going to be where the moon is transitioning your natal chart, like on your birth, the cosmic soup. So I would think, really, honestly, having a moon journal, just following the moon, is really a great way to get in touch with your inner child, that childlike wonder. And as the moon cascades through the month where it's sitting and what kind of comes up for you. So fill your chalice with love today and go with the power of love versus the love of power. That tower will just crumble if you go with the love of power, honestly. But, be your authentic self, roar like a dragon, the magical dragon that is. And I would affirm that I am loving myself unconditionally, just pouring self-love in your personal chalice today. And kind of be your own director of what that feels like inside of you, your heart's container. And thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the other side.